All right, I'm gonna get us going here, even though we're still missing a couple of our product managers. First of all, thanks for everyone for joining us. We have a a good amount of content is what we have. Is we have a ton of new features that have been released and a couple of updates on things that are coming relatively shortly. I'm joined by four product managers. I'll introduce in just a second, and we've got some really good stuff. Oh, a couple of reminders. We don't have the chat open, but you can ask a question through the Q&A function. So please ask a question there. The other thing is that, yes, we are recording this. Yes, we will send out a link to the recording. We'll also send out a link to the Q&A that happened. So if anybody asks a question and we provide an answer in the Q&A, we try to also provide that in a link. And any other resources that we mentioned will also be linked. So with that said, we'll get started. Um, Hopefully, our other two other two presenters will join pretty quickly. One thing I always like to do is just to introduce Feedly. For those of you that aren't familiar with Feedly, I'll give a quick 1 minute overview, hopefully. So, um, as you know, Feedly is focused on open source intelligence, but we also do have dark web on the horizon very shortly. But we collect all this data. We've been doing this for years, where we pull in data from lots of different cyber sources, whether that's um, government sources or blogs or social, and we pull that in and we process all that data. We read through every article with our AI models. We pull that into what we call a threat graph, and we map all these relationships. And then one of the cool things we have done over the last couple of years is we've added this really great way of going into the threat graph to understanding what's there, to rank the sources based on what has most credibility, and to find the right sources to provide the right context for any AI question that might get asked and answered. So that way, the best context is surfaced to the AI and the best answers come out of that AI. So we have lots of different AI-led tools, Intel agents, AI feeds, insight cards, all of these. They're all different ways of surfacing the information that we've collected through all these different sources. And then to get that information out, you have plenty of ways that we can share that information. We have the automated newsletters mentioned in the middle, but also API to integrate with all your tools, and not to be forgotten is the MCP server. So if you want to connect it up to your cloud or OpenAI, then you could do that as well. So the net, you take all this information, you process it, we analyze it. You can analyze it easier, faster, and then you can share it or disseminate it with your team. All right. I've got four of the five, or three of the four people that I wanted to have on this call. Still trying to get Farah on the call, but we have four product managers on the call. Rather than asking them to introduce themselves, I'm just going to ask them a couple of quick questions. We call this the finish the sentence question, and they don't know what the question is, which makes it a little bit more fun. But so, so the first question, personal question: if I had tomorrow off and no obligations, I would use that time to do what? Anna.
Oh, so many options. The first thing that comes to mind is go to the beach. It's summer. Why not?
Dave.
I think I would sleep. I should just go to sleep. I love sleep. I don't get enough of it.
Dave. Chris?
Uh, I've just got back from a holiday in the Bahamas, so I think I would go straight back there.
You go
Back.
straight back there in one day.
I'd go
Awesome.
back. Take me back. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in the mountains near some good mountain bike trails, so I'd probably do that. Oh, and then Farah just joined. Great. All right. So thanks, Farah. Second, finish the sentence question. The favorite feature that I've enjoyed working on at Feedly is Anna.
Report builder.
Nice. Dave?
Ask AI, the future of Ask AI.
Cool. Chris?
It's got to be dark web.
All right. Farah, do you have a favorite feature you've worked on?
The custom intel agent.
Custom intelligence. Okay, great. Well, we're going to hear about all those things. So that's awesome. All right. Without any further ado, IOC improvements. We're going to go through these kind of in by themes. So the first one around themes that we have around IOC improvements. By the way, when we announce these things, there's two ways to find them. One is we have a blog, feedly.com/new dash features. That's where we do the official launch of that product. But we also have feedly.com/change log. And that is where you'll see every new feature that has been announced. But hopefully we'll give you a little bit more details than just what's in the written comment here. So, Dave, take it away.
Yeah, so we made a few different improvements for how people kind of like research IOCs. Before they kind of just came up incidentally in articles, and we realized that we really needed to integrate them in a threat graph, which is how our data is structured, and being able to see if there's relationships between IOCs and threat actors and malware. So that was the first thing that we did. It wasn't like super apparent, but it's all mapped together in the threat graph. And then from a visual standpoint, I think the biggest thing is we have dedicated insight cards for IOCs. So you can see in the screenshot here, I'll demo it really quick too. You can see details about the IOCs, and we have integrations, like loose integrations with VirusTotal. You basically can look it up on their public site. And there's also improvements we did with the API. We actually can let users look up IOCs through the API too. So I think it's better just to show you instead of just talking through it. Let's see here. I'll take over. Hopefully you can see that. So yeah, so then there's a couple things here. So you can find IOCs through different ways. This is from the threat landscape, which is sort of like the quick hits of what's happening across the industry, the trending articles and vulnerabilities, malware. If we could just take trending threat actors, for example, like Shiny Hunters, if we click on it, we see a lot of the details here, and then we'll notice if we scroll down that there's an IOCs table. And that was one of the things that we changed as well. We wanted to integrate IOCs within different areas of Feedly. So you can see that for some of them, we have relationships mapped. We track the articles. You can actually go into the article and see where they are. And then you can open up certain IOCs in VirusTotal, for example. That one's not there. But a few of them are displayed in there too. For certain IOCs, if you click on them, you'll see that we'll get the enrichment directly from VirusTotal. This is dynamic. This is on the fly. So instead of having to actually go into VirusTotal, you can see those displayed right here. We'll get the community score and that type of stuff. So we also have Shodan. We can open up certain types of IOCs in Shodan and also gray noise as well. Those are on the integrations page. You'll see here we have gray noise, VirusTotal. You can actually put in your API key, and you'll get you won't get rate limited like you can with the community account with the free accounts. Another thing too, I'm actually really excited about is the go-to button, which I was going to save it till the end, but I just wanted to show you if you ever want to quickly look up something. This is really cool. And you can actually just type in the threat actor's name and then get to the insight card right there. You could also do that for IOCs. For the API, I'm not going to show you, but if you check our API documents, our documentation page, we'll explain how to do IOC lookups there too. So yeah, that's what I got.
Okay, over to me. I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, so I'm just going to show a few things that are part of our kind of like vulnerability intelligence offering. The first thing I want to show is our new kind of exploit analysis that we do. And so one of the reasons we did this is because figuring out the exploit status of the CVE is kind of one of the most important signals when it comes to like prioritization. But that can be kind of difficult to understand. It's hard to know if like an exploit is real, if there's just like a proof of concept, or if there's kind of nothing at all. And so what we started doing now is analyzing exploit URLs when we discover them and when they're part of a associated with a CVE, and then we categorize them. And so this is trying to help you better understand like the type of exploit it might be, or even if it is an exploit, if it's real. We also provide like a confidence level with that of like high, medium, or low. And then we provide like sources and some evidence to kind of back that up. And the aim of this is to kind of help you like at a glance kind of see whether the CVE has a real exploit, and basically it saves you time having to go to the source, to GitHub repo, try and understand that yourself, and yeah, basically give you that information within the CVE Insights card. So I'm just going to show you that in Feedly. And so to do that, I'm going to use the vulnerability agent. And I've just got some filters set up here for last 30 days. I'm searching for vulnerabilities that have been exploited, have a proof of concept, or have been added to the CISA Kev list. And I've also got trending added here as well, which will kind of surface those vulnerabilities that are kind of being discussed more across like multiple articles. And so I'm gonna just go into this one. This is our CVE Insights card. So if you're not familiar with this, we basically generate one of these for every CVE, and it's kind of a collection of everything that we have or everything that we've discovered for that CVE. But we've added this exploits table. And previously, we would have these exploit links, but they would just be links for you to kind of go and explore further. But now we go one step further ourselves, and we actually analyze the content of those links. So kind of to try and save you time. So we can see here we have one that is exploit code or has exploit code. We have like these different categories. Let's say exploit code is the highest, is kind of like the one you want to worry about, like it's actually exploitable. But we also have a POC code here, detection rule. We'll have advisory, and so they kind of yeah, we have like a whole tier of categories there. We can see our confidence is high with this, the data is added, and we have the source. But the useful information is here. I want to know why it's been determined as the real exploit code, why the confidence is high. So we'll provide the reason here. So we can say that, we see this is running, this is a runnable Python exploit script. We give the key evidence, and we also give you the source so you can go and verify that yourselves. And so, yeah, the aim here is that at a glance, you can get a real understanding of whether this CVE is exploitable. Okay, the other thing I wanted to show you is a new filter we've added to the vulnerability agent. And this is to help you kind of capture all of the CVEs that are mentioned in the security releases, basically, so security update releases. So to do that, I'm going to show you, here we go. We've got this new filter here, security update releases. And we've got these we're building these out. So we've got Apple, Microsoft, and this is for Microsoft Patch Tuesday, which have been getting much bigger lately. So what you can do here is select like the latest one. We have them broken down by month as well. So you can kind of explore this further, but I'm just going to go with the latest. Expand that. So we can see here there are 210 vulnerabilities in the latest Apple patch day. And you probably received this elsewhere as well, but the benefit of having this in the dashboard in the agent is to be able to kind of drill down further. So here you can maybe want to look for those that have been exploited or have a POC. Here we go. So we're drilling down further here. We've got the CISA Kev list. So now we've gone from 210 to 4 vulnerabilities. And yeah, we're hoping that this will just help you kind of navigate these really large releases lately of like Patch Tuesdays, Apple Patch Days, and be able to find those vulnerabilities that are more relevant to you. This is one way I like to do it. Another way could be to use your tech stack. So rather than just using like those filters there, you could like search for a specific product, for example, and do it that way, which drills down a bit further. But yeah, that's what I had to show on the vulnerability side of things.
Hey, Chris, one quick question. It says, do you use EPSS to help calculate exploitability possibility of CVEs?
Yes, we do have EPSS. I can show you here. Where was I before? I'm just going to go into one of these. So we do collect the EPSS score here. Do you mean, yeah, I guess it's like whether we actually use it in here. I'll have to double check whether that's actually used for this kind of calculation. I think this is just like kind of analyzing the source itself in the context of the URL, but we do capture like the EPSS as well within the CVE Insights card. It's also filterable in here as well with the EPSS filter.
Awesome, thanks.
Okay, so let me just share my screen. Okay, so I'm going to be covering cyber attacks and Ask AI in Insight cards. So basically, it's kind of overwhelming to track and stay on top of new or updated cyber attacks. And on top of that, there's a lot of context in every cyber attack. So this is what we're trying to solve here. Like cyber attack insight cards really let you to see the full picture of what's going on in every attack. And you can use Ask AI to interact on them and go even deeper on the context of the full attack. And we also made updates on the clustering, so they're clustered more accurately. And by this, we mean that there are fewer duplicate cards and there are less unrelated noise in the cards. And I'm going to show you how this works. Do you see here? Okay. So with cyber attack agents, you can already filter by anything you want. Like you can filter by your industry, by threat actors that you're looking for, even your own vendors, or any list of your tech stack, your supply chain, and so on. And whenever you see a cyber attack that you're interested in, or that you think it's relevant, you can just open it and click on Analyze. And you can ask any question here. Now, the cool thing about cyber attacks is that you can also like filter or sort by anything that you find interesting. And here, so for example, here there was a cyber attack that, even though it was reported on December 17th, 2024, it says that it has been recently updated. So if we open it, you can go quickly to the timeline of events and see why it was updated, what's the recent update of this. And with Analyze, you can just go in and ask any question or fetch any context of the cyber attack that you want to know about. And it'll give you this information. And okay, so I also want to share the new developments with Ask AI Research. So Ask AI Research, or research in general, it's like an interface that lets you connect to the threat context engine and lets you ask any question or any task to it. So we've noticed that a lot of the times, some information, yes, it might be in the threat context engine, but it can also be in a board that you created or an AI feed or even an agent that you have. So now what we did was that you can connect all of these different tools into research for it to have the full context in the response. And yeah, I'll show you how this works. So make this smaller. So basically you can go in here and click on the plus button to add any context, from uploading a PDF report to adding links of different articles, And here I can show you, well, I had already put this with the vulnerability agents. You can ask for, maybe you have like multiple vulnerability agents and you want to ask about like one question on multiple of them. So you can just go in and it'll fetch everything of context that you have added in here. And yeah, I think that's it for me.
Awesome. Thanks, Anna. That's really good. Yeah, just to reinforce one of the things that Anna talked about, one of the reasons that this is a little bit different than, your typical LLM is that all that context that's been collected through all the sources that's been captured in the threat graph. When that question is asked in research, the you know Feedly is able to use the threat context engine to find the best sources, find the best context, everything else, and pull that in. And what Anna was showing is that if you want to narrow it down to a specific context, then you can do that as well. So you can do it for, just the context that comes from a particular PDF or from an AI feed or from a lot of different things. So it just allows you to really focus the context on the things that you think are important to control what the LLM is going to use to provide the answer. And then you can also, create the format of the answer as well. So, but thanks, Anna. That's perfect.
Oh, sorry, that is me. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm letting down the team. Okay. Yeah, so this was basically just a big overhaul of how so there's two different things here, actually three, but two are related. Slack and Teams, we have more native integrations now. Before we used something called webhooks, and it was confusing and sometimes really hard for teams to hook up. So then we learned like it's really probably important to put things in the official marketplace, and we learned from some interactions that people wanted more customization in how we pass information from Feedly into something like Teams or Slack. So that was the whole thing that we did. We did overhaul these integrations. And so I'll just do it. It's kind of hard to demo, but let me just show you sort of the customization options you get in Teams. Let me go here. So for Teams, for example, once you have a channel, and it could be a private channel, that was something you couldn't do before. You can have multiple places in Feedly go to a single channel, which is also different. So say, it could be for vulnerabilities or threat hunting, whatever you like. But you can pick a channel to sort of collect all the information from Feedly that you want. So you can basically do visit the Microsoft Marketplace, click on the Feedly connector, and once you have that started, you'll be able to basically interact in the channel and tell it to subscribe to the Feedly connection. And then it'll ask you if you want to pick a board or an AI feed. And AI feeds are for, sort of automated, more hands-off collection of data. Boards are more curated. So just for example, in my Feedly account, I have a threat hunting board. And once you have that, it's going to ask you if you want to do auto translation. So you can take articles in different languages, and then it will automatically translate that into English for you. English is the only supported automatic translation target that we have. But you can disable that if you prefer the native language. And then also we have article summarization. Instead of just passing the link and a preview of the article, you can actually include summarization and give a very customized prompt. So you could, maybe even have it take a pass at making a threat hunt package or some things that you're interested in. You can have it maybe triage lightly a vulnerability that you're interested in from an article from your board. So you can really pick whatever kind of prompt you want. And having that flexibility, I think, is really important. Excuse me. And it's very similar to the Slack integration too. I won't show that, but it's also in the marketplace and you can interact with it in a similar way too. The other thing is, and I'll change the share. The other thing is newsletters. So newsletters, we've heard from some people that they wanted something that didn't require any like manual work and collection of data. They wanted to get sort of a sense of what was happening in the threat landscape. So in a newsletter, sorry, I'm clicking all over the place here. If you go to newsletters, and we'll go to my demo one here that I have. Click here. And then if you go to design the newsletter, you'll see that there's a threat landscape button here. And we use sort of this drag drop block system in order to kind of create different things in your newsletter. So what you can do is you just drag that over here, drop it in. And what you'll see here is basically the top articles from the threat landscape portion of Feedly, which is sort of like the trending articles in the security industry. As before, you can also change how we summarize each article. You can give it a custom prompt. You can disable certain things that you'd like, just like before. And then I think the cool thing is when you actually preview it, you'll see the article summaries get passed through. These are sort of like the top trending articles here. And you can also, fully customize anything that you see here. You can disable this table content section, for example, or get rid of the icons if you'd like. But yeah, now the threat landscape is now available in newsletters. That's all I got.
All right, great. Before I move on to the next slide, we do have a question. I'm not sure who this is best for, but the question is, we are starting to see some cyber attacks in the quantum computing CTI context. For example, HNDL, harvest now, decrypt later. Are you incorporating these into your cyber attack topology?
Uh,
Yeah.
oh, Anna, you have an
Yeah,
answer? Okay.
yeah, yeah. We track everything. Like cyber attack. It's irrespective of the context, so we should be able to track that too.
Yeah, the way Feedly works is like we're not really locked into like really well-known and established things all the time. I think that's the nice part about Feedly. We map all different kinds of concepts, including quantum computing, um, LLMs, different attack vectors. So yeah, there's a lot of flexibility with the things that you can search for.
Awesome. All right, so we have some others, some cats and dogs. I don't want to diminish them. I love cats and dogs, uh, but we're just going to run through these really quickly. So, at mention org profile, Farah, are you going to take this one?
Yes. So for the org profile, it's a feature that exists in Feedly, but um, we made a lot of progress on this and improvement. So for now, org profile is any context that you would like to pass to Feedly to describe your organization, to describe your tech stack, and you save it once, and then it will be reused in many other contexts. I will show you how it works. So for now, you can define your org profile as a list of things. For example, your tech stack, you will define any item in your tech stack. But with the update that we made, you can define also your org profile as a text. For example, if you give us what is your company, what is your risk appetite, what is the geography you are operating in, and you define this as a text, you save it. And each time you would like to surface some intelligence, you will invoke this part of the org profile that you saved. Let me share my screen. I will walk you through this very quickly. So in Feedly, when you would like to define your org profile, there is a section for it. You come here and you can add an item. An item can, as I said, a list of things, for example, your text stack, or a text. If we would like to define a text content, for example, you give a name, say my org context, and you start to type, for example, say my company sector is, sorry, whatever we are operating in that area, etc. You save it, and then let me show you how you can use it. You can use it in many places in Feedly. For example, if you are familiar with Feedly, we have the research function. For example, you can come here and you say, what are the cyber threats impacting my, and then you reference to your org profile with the symbol, and you will get the list of everything that you saved. I saved a list called tech stack vendors. So here, instead of me listing one by one my tech stack vendors, just by referencing them, I will get the result for this. This is something that you can do in research, you can do in newsletter, but also you can do it in the custom intel agent. And because I will also make a short demo about custom intel agent, I will reference that again there. So you can see here in the results, because I asked about something very specific, very contextualized for my tech stack vendor, the result upfront, it's telling me that here everything that is targeting your tech stack vendor is not giving me something very generic that is not important for me, is giving me something very specific to me. So this is everything about our profile. I don't know who will be taking over for the next item, John.
Yeah, the next one is GoTo and the new AI models. So whoever's doing new AI models, I think it's Dave. You want to just show GoTo as well?
Yeah, I showed go-to, but I'll do it again in case anyone was late. Sorry, I was playing with Feedly. I was like, oh man, I gotta try this out. Okay, here. So in Feedly, we have this go-to area. So one of the problems we had is like, people don't want to have to figure out how to get somewhere in Feedly. They can go straight to the insight card or maybe a board or something like that. So you go straight to anything, and it works on search. Like Lazarus Group. So we actually will do a lookup and figure out what AI model we have that would map to the query. And then if there's actually IOCs that we have available, those will pop up as well. And then if you click on it, it'll take you directly to the insight card. And then also for new models, this is the new one that we're about to release to. We have a campaign identification. So that's in the pipeline. Looking for named cyber attack campaigns or operations. So not yet, but just playing with it. We do have insider threat. So if you see there's like a fancy icon, that means it's something that we spent a lot of time curating and developing. So it's got this cool shield icon. So now we have insider threats. And then what was the other one, Sean? I can't remember. It was
novel TTPs.
That's right. So novel TTPs is a cool one because we wanted to capture things that are referenced in text that are like a new way for a threat actor to do something. So we look for the context in the article about there's like maybe a threat actor doing something new. And so that's an AI model that will look for that kind of stuff. So if we go here, we can kind of take a look. This one's got insider threats on it. So It's mentioned in here. I'm not going to read through the article, but it's in there. And then novel TTPs. And if you ever want to learn more about one of our models, you can hover over it and then hit learn more. And then that will give you a little bit more details about how this would appear in the articles. So that's all I got.
All right, Chris, do you want to take over the next two? You got Suricata rules and integrations.
Yes, I should quickly show you those. Okay. Okay, so yeah, something we started adding to Insights cards again is a detection rules section. We already had this, so we already had like Sigma rules and Snort rules, but now we've added Suricata rules as well. And so yeah, if we are identifying those in articles, we will extract them and they will be downloadable from the Insights card here. And also we provide the source as well, so you can check them. And the other thing I'll quickly show you is we've been building out our integrations and we've added two new integrations. So we have an analyst one, integration with analyst one and an integration with Microsoft Sentinel. And so the way these work is they work with your AI feeds or team boards. And so you can set up AI feeds in Feedly to collect IOCs or the context, and it will basically pull that information through to Analyst One and Microsoft Sentinel. You can find out more about these in Feedly in the integrations and API section. We have a bit of an overview here. We have a setup guide, and you can feel free to reach out with any questions about them.
Awesome. Hey, Chris, the next section is yours. So we're now moving into the what's coming next, and Chris is going to take over dark web.
Ooh, okay, cool.
Chris, this was your favorite feature, so
yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, so something I'm excited to talk about is a dark web add-on feature that we've been working on this year. And so we are focusing on two use cases. We have credential leaks monitoring and brand monitoring. And so the way this works is we'll have the dark web agents in Feedly, which I'll show you in a second. And they're going to continuously monitor for company names, domains, and keywords that you can add. And it's looking for mentions and credential leaks. So every result that we have comes with like the original snippet, so what triggered it. We have like leak details. We also have access to the full thread, so you can see what was mentioned around the trigger as well. I'm just going to go into Feedly and show you because it's easier. And I'm going to start with credential leaks. So with credential leaks, you add an email domain. We've gone for this like a table view here, like our other agents. And this is just a way to give you like a quick overview of your of the leaks at a glance in a way. So you have like the date discovered, the leak name itself. We have this what column. So this tells you about the leak. So for this one, this was related to Madison Square Gardens, Shiny Hunters. But we also have this so what. And so this is kind of how you can understand like how, why is this relevant to me? What do we do about it in a way? And so with this, we can see it's like an email exposure only. There's no password associated with it. So it's not kind of as much of a threat in a way, not as high risk. But we can see there's one email address, ransomware, and the source type is a leak type. The source type is a leak site. But to find those more relevant leaks or those that you want to act upon more quickly, we've added some filtering at the top. And so one of the requests we had quite a lot was for a password complexity filter. And this allows you to kind of create a filter based on your password policies internally. And so one of the problems with dark web is there's kind of lots of like old content floating around or kind of emails and password combos that aren't even real. And so this is a good way to filter those out and just to get to the relevant stuff. You can also filter by leak type. So you can like kind of zoom in on a specific leak type or exclude. But this toggle is very effective just for kind of only showing results that have passwords associated with them. So I'm going to click this And I can see here we have this leak from earlier this year. Every leak will have its own insights card. And so this is where we can kind of show you the source. This is from Telegram. We have the link here as well. And then we have this table. And so this is where we will show the kind of the actual email and password combo, as well as an excerpt column. I'm not going to show the data. You can reveal that data, but I won't during the demo. But this kind of shows you some information around the email and password, so you can kind of see like the target URL, for example. Like, is this an email and password for something internal, or is it for Spotify or something like that? We've also got this status and first seen column, and so this again goes back to the issue with dark web, where there's a lot of combo lists flying around with old leaks or old credentials. And so this, we will tell you if it's new, if this is the first time we've seen it, and the date of that. If it's not new, I'm trying to see if we've got one. Yeah, it'll say recycled. So this just means it's like an older email and password combo, and we kind of show you when we first saw it as well. And you can go directly to that insights card as well to find out more. And so that's a good way just to kind of find those results that are new and that is something that you would need to act upon. Okay. Oh, this is all fully exportable as well, so you can access it using the Feedly API, or you can like manually export using CSV. And then the other one I wanted to show you, the other use case is brand mentions. So this is similar setup, but you can add more information here. Your company name, some domains. You can add up to 5 domains, and you can add some keywords as well. And one of the things we discovered or learned about from customers very quickly is that brand mention monitoring can be very noisy. So we've added a bunch of filters at the top here to basically exclude or include source types. So we have like Telegram, Discord, Onion sites. We have like a wide range of source types here. We have mention types as well. So if there's something specific you want to look for or you want to exclude, you can do that. But I think the useful thing here is being able to like exclude keywords. And so the aim is you set up your agent, you see the historical results. So it'll do like a kind of a historical search, and you can see what noise is being generated. And then I can just like highlight things I don't want to see anymore and add as exclusion filter. And it'll kind of prevent that from it'll hide that content basically from the table. I'm going to go into an example, go into an insights card here. So same again, for every mention, we have an insights card. And we extract the poster name. So here we can see the poster is newsmaker. You can see the original snippet. But if I want to see more, I can see the full thread. This looks like it's all in Russian, which is not helpful, but you get the idea that you can kind of see the context or what was spoken about before and after the snippet itself. Yeah, again, everything here is exportable with the API. And yeah, we're continuing to work on this. Some other things we're exploring is like, poster profiles, like developing like profiles on the posters we're seeing, and alerting in dark web for credential leaks, and also some like kind of being able to, looking to add like a dark web section to our insights cards in Feedly. So in like a CVE insights card, for example, we'll be able to show a dark web section with like what's being said about exploits for the CVE and things like that. So yeah, this is just an area that we're continuing to improve.
Awesome, Chris. Do you what is the state of this feature? Is it like it says beta?
Yeah, it's currently in beta. And so we're basically working with customers and who are actively using this and testing it, and we're collecting feedback, and we're basically implementing that feedback as we collect it. We're getting close to having a V1 ready. And so yeah, we'll be looking to, we have like a strong roadmap. We're getting close to having V1 ready. There's a big focus on filtering for noise. And yeah, so it's not
Okay.
far off.
Awesome. All right. Our next what's coming feature was how did I forget already? It was reporting improvements. Anna.
That was also my favorite one. So I can nerd
Yeah,
about this
great.
product like the whole day, but I'll keep it brief. So yeah, we know that CTI analysts need to create products, like so many products and they have a constrained amount of time to create them, and they often can take hours to create. So with Report Builder, naturally you can build like products in minutes, rather than taking forever to gather the data that you need to make a report. We have a system that makes that for you. Now the challenge right now is that LLMs are very generic and they write like any other LLM would write. So what we're working on is how do we make the LLM adapt not only to how a CTI analyst would write, but how it would write adapted to like your company profile and maybe the audience that you are reaching out to. We know that, for example, an audience might need more technical details than another one. Maybe some audiences don't even have any technical knowledge. So this is what we're working on right now, plus adapting it to understand the CTI tradecraft. And that can be like analytic tools like ICD 203 or ICD 206, the CIA writing manual, and much more. So yeah, that's coming up along with more customization like branding into your report. And yeah, this is what we're working on right now.
Yeah, I know it's a big feature a lot of people are interested in, and we have a version 1 out now, and this is getting better. So, all right, back to you, Chris, for alerting.
Hello. Okay. There we go. So yes, this is the other feature that is in we have an ongoing beta program for this as well. This is for vulnerability agent alerting. And so the aim of this is to kind of basically inform you as soon as as soon as there is a CVE that is published or is updated in a specific way based on the triggers that you've set. So I'm going to go into Feedly here and show you how to set this up once it becomes available. So with this filter here, I've got my I'm just doing last 7 days, got my tech stack list and recently reported. But here, if I want to, maybe I don't want to be alerted to all of these vulnerabilities that come in. I'm just going to name this to test. I can't type. There we go. Name this to test. And in here, you can choose to receive an alert for any new entry to the agent table, or I can choose specific events that occur. And so maybe I only want to be alerted when one of those vulnerabilities is exploited in the wild, or there's a proof of concept released. I'm just going to go with that. So I can set these triggers based on what I want to be alerted for. And in this case, it's kind of those higher priority ones that I really need to deal with right away. At the moment, we have email and Slack alerts enabled, but we are looking to expand this as well throughout the beta program. And so I'm just going to go with email. You can email, you can add members of your team, or you can add like an external email address. I'm just going to do chris@feedly.com. So you can send this to multiple recipients. And you'll see like a kind of a preview on the side here. So this kind of chooses a random CVE from your table view. And in the alert itself, we have like the CVE ID, we have the published date, we have the what so what, and we should also have like any exploit details if they exist, some patch information. But if you wanted to customize that alert, we have this custom summarization option here. And this is where you can kind of put in a prompt or just use natural language just to say kind of what you want. And so I'm just going to put something like provide patch or workaround details. Once you add this, it will add an additional section to your alert. And so this is very customizable. You can kind of, maybe you want to know about like threat actors that might be exploiting it or exploit details. You can kind of use this how you want, and that will be included in all of your alerts then. And then, yeah, you save this, and once it's set up to go, it's kind of like you just set it up and leave it run. And then when a CVE matches those triggers that you've set, you'll receive the email alert. You can also have multiple alerts in each agent. So maybe you've got different recipients, different purposes, different teams to send things to. So you can do that as well. But yeah, so this is currently in beta, and yeah, will hopefully be available soon.
Awesome. I know that wasn't your favorite feature, but we're going to move on to Pharaoh's favorite feature, which is custom intel agent. So for those of you following along, we know that we already have intel agents for cyber attacks and TTPs and vulnerabilities. And now Pharaoh's going to talk about how you can create one for whatever you need.
Cool. Thank you, Sean. So the last feature here is the custom Intel agent. As you understood, the Intel agent is the feature that will enable you with the tool to make monitoring, and vulnerability agent that was presented by Chris is very specific to the vulnerability use case, and the custom Intel agent is the broader one, and it has the quality of being customizable. I will share my screen, and it will be quick because it will inherit a lot of features from the vulnerability agent plus more capabilities. So it's coming to Figly here, and again, it's the same workflow to create an agent. From the side panel in Feedly, you will be able to create a new custom agent. Sorry, it's not loading quickly. So you will have two ways to create an agent. Either you already create an agent and then you will add to the list, or you will be able to create an agent just by clicking here, and you will find it here. The way to create a custom Intel agent is very easy, just because it's by prompting in natural language. So if you come here, you will be able to say what are and then you type the thing that you would like to monitor. I already created some custom Intel agents, so we don't lose time in the creation. So for here, you can see, for example, if my intelligence requirement is to track threat actors that are targeting healthcare organizations, just because my industry sector is healthcare, what you will see is that Philly will always render the results in a table format. And this is intentional because each time there is something new that we need to surface for this custom Intel agent, either we will create a new row or we will update an existing row. So the table will help to make things clean and tidy. So when we respond, you will always see the table. First, you will see the thing that you are monitoring, and you will see that what's what, because those are the fixed columns. But I said it's custom because the columns are very specific to the PIR itself. Because here it's something that will track threat actors. You can see that you have a column called motivation or activity level. If the PIR or the AR is about something else, let's say about geopolitical tensions, for sure you will not see this column. So different to what Chris showed, when the columns are fixed anytime you make a search. For the custom Intel agent is very customized, and it changes depending on the PIR. So this is one level of customization. The second level of customization is when you are creating an Intel agent, a custom one, you will be able to, for example, add a column. And you can add a column, for example, you can come here and you add a column and say give me the IOCs, for example. This is something that you can do as well. So this is a second level of flexibility or customization. So the response, as I said, is a table, and either you will have a new row or an update in the row. And if you have an update, you can dig deeper into the evolution of the threat. And if you click here, you will see the timeline of everything happened from the creation of the Intel agent, the custom one, till that moment you are checking your results. So here, because one of the threat actors that we found, it's Shiny Hunters, you can see that there is a timeline of events that the threat actors made about targeting healthcare organization. So think about it. You have an AR that you would like to monitor. You are setting up a custom Intel agent. This agent will run all the time in the background continuously without stopping. And each time there is something, it will update the table. The table will be the snapshot answering that AR. And if you would like to see the evolution of things, you can dig deeper in the timeline by clicking in the events. Anna talked about SKI. So SKI is also available here. So for example, if you have any question about the table, any information is there. And for example, if you would like to format the information in the table in a different way, you just here and you type your question or your prompt, and then everything in the table will be passed to the AI as a context. So this is everything about custom Intel agents. And I think this is the last feature we'll be presenting today.
It is. Thank you so much. What is the status of this? When do you expect this to, it's beta now. When do you expect it to be out?
Yeah, so it's I think customers or prospects need to connect with their representative from sales or customer success team. It's available, but it's now rolled out gradually. So I think it's something that you need to connect with your representative just to get access to it.
Awesome. And that's good advice for anybody who has any feature requests or more information about any of these things. If you have a TI advisor, if you're a current customer, then please reach out to them and ask questions, submit new requests for features. We love those. We take those, and that becomes a little bit of how we build our products. And then, of course, if you are not a customer yet, then just reach out. Any person that spoke today, first name at feedly.com will get you an email. So you can email any of these folks about ask more information about any of these features. So with that said, I don't see any questions in the chat or in the Q&A, so I will close the webinar. Thank you very much for joining, and again, we'll send out a replay and a link to any resources in one day.